So today we're filming in the park for two reasons. One is to give us a change of scenery, and two is for me to get over my fear of filming in public and to remind myself that no one gives a single. I've also handwritten out all your questions. This is the Dragon Train, yet another one of my favorite rides growing up. Let's compare answers. I didn't want for that knowledge to die with my career.
When the river is calling, said I love you forever. We can make it together.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Emma, and today we're out here at Gongbian Tongyet, otherwise known as Reunification Park. This is actually a park that my parents brought me to a lot when I was growing up, so it has a very special place in my heart. So in honor of 1 year on YouTube, I thought it would be a good idea to bring you guys out here, show you a little bit of a place that means a lot to me while I do a quick self-evaluation of the last year on YouTube, and also answer some of your questions in a Q&A that I posted about 6 weeks ago. And I do apologize for the delay in this video. I've been waiting for a good day to come out here to the park, but it has been quite gloomy in Hanoi. And finally, today we have a good old sunny day. I just want to thank you guys so much for being here with me, whether you're here from before I actually posted on YouTube, or you're here for sewing, or through my language learning videos. Thank you so much for being here. Also, could we get a count of hands for any niche overlappers? Is there anyone here who is here for both sewing and language learning? Going once, going twice. To be honest, the reason I decided to start this YouTube channel last year was because I had reached a point in my IELTS tutoring career, my English tutoring career, where I wasn't sure how much longer I wanted to continue doing it for. But there had been approaches and techniques that I have discovered along the way that have been really effective for my students, and I didn't want for that knowledge to kind of die with my career should I stop teaching English one of these days. So I decided that I would make a video out of it, post it online, and if anyone ever needs me to teach them IELTS ever again, then I could reference that video. But that actually was not the first video. I actually posted a video on learning Korean through podcasts. After a couple years of studying Korean on and off, I finally discovered an approach that I could stay consistent with, and I was geeking out so hard about it, but there was no one else in my real life that I guess shared the same excitement for language learning as I did at that point. So I decided to make a video, post it online, and if I could find my tribe of people who would geek out as hard as I would, if not even harder. And to be honest, I found friends that geek out even harder about language learning than I do myself. With my first month on YouTube, I really did attempt to keep a steady schedule, so once a week. But because I was learning so many things at the same time, whether that be scripting, like frame composition, filming, editing, subs, overlaying music and all those things, the learning curve was pretty steep, which meant that although I was able to upload 3 or 4 videos on a weekly basis, you can kind of tell by the 4th week that I was running on not so much sleep, my face was getting puffy, and it was just overall not a very, sustainable schedule to me. But at some point, I think near to the end of the year, I read this book. And there was a passage in that book that kind of said something along the lines of, there's like a bank of endless ideas just floating in space, and we are merely the vessels to express those ideas. When the ideas come in your head, they're not something that we have generated ourselves with our minds. It's more so we were able to capture a certain idea that had been floating around. At any one point in time, there may be several people around the world who come up with the same idea. And it's not like they're plagiarizing each other or copying each other. It's more so they were able to tune into that idea at the same time, which means that we are the messengers of these ideas, and it's up to us to express it in the way that does it justice. There is a time for an idea to be expressed. Although it's not good to rush the process, it's also not that beneficial to get stuck in the perfectionist trap to the point where you basically miss the time frame where the idea had wanted to be expressed. With that approach in mind, I would kind of let go of my perfectionistic tendencies a little bit more, try to experiment with new styles and not mind too much that it has to be tip-top perfect before I upload it. I've kind of figured out my workflow at this point, so I was able to upload once a week for a good couple of months now. At the beginning, I think my videos were also pretty heavily scripted. I basically scripted every single sentence that I was saying. I would script it one day, edit it the next day, practice memorizing the scripts the day before, the day of, before I actually did a final take with the camera. It definitely served its purpose. These days, I have more of a guideline. Because I feel a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera, I now have the freedom to be a little bit more spontaneous, to go off script even while I'm filming. And I'd count that as progress. And as for what you guys could expect in this upcoming year of YouTube, I want to be more experimentational. Is that the right word? Experimentative. Basically, I want to experiment more with different filming styles, scripting formats. I want to try filming videos with more silence. Maybe more calming vlogs, no voiceover, just subtitles. And at the same time, I also would like to invite more people onto this channel so that we can have more stories to share. Because this video is a little bit overdue, you've probably seen some of my new projects come out already, called Homie Highlights, which involves me interviewing some of my friends to share their stories to you. So you guys will probably see more faces on this channel and get to know some of the important people in my life. One thing that's for sure is that my videos have been and will continue to be inspired by events that actually take place in my life. So that's kind of why you could see that the videos jump around a lot of different topics between sewing, language learning, and traveling, and ponderings, and all that stuff. That is genuinely a reflection of how my life is going thus far. So you guys can kind of join along with me as I learn to navigate my 20s. I think somewhere along the way of creating these YouTube videos, I've also learned that I really enjoy storytelling on both ends, to be the storyteller or to be the consumer, the listener of those stories. Over this year, I've also filmed some video with other people being the main subject of those videos, and I've seen an overall pattern where those people really enjoy the way that I see them through the camera lens and the way I tell a story about them, which made me think, maybe I do enjoy storytelling. Maybe making these videos with the people I care about is my love language for them. Together we can capture a little snippet in time that we can look back on just to see how we were once upon a time. There are so many kids over there right now. I think they're on a school excursion or something, and yeah, it just takes me back to my childhood just a tiny bit more. Besides YouTube videos, I've also tried uploading shorts and Instagram content. While realistically, it takes more time to film and edit a YouTube video, but somehow it takes so much more motivation for me to actually think about, to script and edit short form content or even just posts on Instagram. You may have seen those blips some months back, but now I'm just back to posting more YouTube content. And should the day come where I actually feel that there is not so much friction to posting short form Instagram posts, I may resume that. We'll see. I think this next year I also want to try color grading in my videos. I think I attempted that at the beginning, but it just added so much more to my learning curve. If anyone out there has tips on beginner resources to how to approach color grading, I would really appreciate it if you can leave me a comment down below. Thank you. First question, Santiago Andrian asks, you have lived and grown up in so many countries. In which stage of your life have you been the happiest? So a little bit of background on me is that I was born here in Hanoi, and then at the age of 5, I moved to Australia for 2.5 years. After that, I moved to Laos for 2 years. I did middle and high school here in Hanoi again, and then I spent 4 years in college in the States. And to be honest, I feel like I've had happy moments in all of them. At the end of the day, I think it has more to do with the people that I'm surrounded with in any of those countries, more so than the place itself. Like in Australia, I had a very blissful and carefree childhood in the very sense of it, which I'm very, very grateful for. I made some lifelong friends in Laos. I still keep in touch with up till today. I have a solid group of friends from high school here in Vietnam as well. And my experiences in America, although somewhat tumultuous, were also some of the best times of my life. So bottom line is, I think it has more to do with the people in those places than the places themselves. I would say though, the two most difficult periods of my life would probably be when I moved back to Vietnam after four and a half years abroad, and reverse culture shock was a thing for me, and I had somewhat of a difficult time readapting to life here, but all is good now. I don't recall this ride being here when I was younger. Was it newly installed? It doesn't look newly installed. You best believe I spent a lot of time with this elephant growing up. Question number 2 from, who is this from? This is from Hung Chen. I wonder how learning all those different languages affects your mother tongue proficiency. It's a chicken over there apparently. Thế là mình sinh ra tại Hà Nội và lúc mình 5 tuổi thì mình có qua Úc vào lớp 1. Đó cũng là cái khoảnh khắc mà mình bắt đầu học tiếng Anh luôn. Và từ đó trở đi thì đa phần thời gian mình dành cho việc học hành là bằng tiếng Anh. Nên cũng phải thú thật với cả nhà là trong một khoảng thời gian nhất định thì cái tiếng Việt của mình nó cũng bị thui chột đi rất là nhiều. Là vì mình chỉ sử dụng tiếng Việt ở trong nhà thôi mà. Tức là mẹ hỏi là kiểu con ăn cơm chưa, con đi học hôm nay thế nào, những cái thứ đơn giản vậy thôi. Chứ còn về mặt học thuật thì là mình sử dụng bằng tiếng Anh cả. Nói chung là trong cuộc sống thì mình nghe mình cũng hiểu thôi, cũng không có vấn đề gì cả. Nhưng mà bảo là để mình tập làm văn hay là viết một cái bài luận văn bằng tiếng Anh, bằng tiếng Việt thì thực sự là cũng rất là chật vật. Năm 2020 mình tốt nghiệp đại học từ bên Mỹ về, và lúc đó là lúc mà mình bắt đầu học tiếng Hàn. Thì trong tiếng Hàn có tiếng Hán, và qua tiếng Hán mình lại hiểu được tiếng Hán Việt tốt hơn. Đâm ra mình lại hiểu được ngôn ngữ tiếng Việt của mình một cách sâu sắc hơn. Một cái nữa mình thấy khá là thú vị là cuối tháng 3 mình có vào Sài Gòn chơi một tuần với bạn cấp 1 của mình, và anh là người Ấn Độ. Nên là cả tuần mình chỉ có xài tiếng Anh thôi. Nhưng mà sao đến lúc mình quay lại Việt Nam thì cái tiếng Việt của mình nó lại nuột nà hơn rất là nhiều. Mình nghĩ là có thể là lúc mà vào Sài Gòn mình hiểu được một cái gì đấy tổng thể hơn về Việt Nam, về văn hóa Việt, về con người Việt. Và nó đã gợi lên cho mình một cái lòng yêu nước gì đấy hơn trước. Lại cảm thấy gắn kết hơn với cái gốc rễ Á Đông của mình. Nên mình nghĩ đó là cái mấu chốt mà đã giúp cho cái tiếng Việt của mình trong tháng này, bắt đầu từ tháng này nó nuột nà hơn. Tóm lại là cái vốn tiếng Việt nó đã nằm trong đấy sẵn cả rồi. Cái khả năng nói tiếng Việt của mình nó cũng trong đấy sẵn cả rồi. Chẳng qua là mình cần một cái gì đấy, mình khoan một cái lỗ, mình thông não ra một tí thôi là nó lại tuôn chảy ra ngoài. Tasneem Mohammed 848 asks, congrats on your first year. How can I improve my pronunciation and fluency while speaking English? I'm an Arabic native speaker and my English is C1 in grammar and vocabulary, but I still struggle with speaking. First of all, thank you. Well, I would say that when it comes to speaking, we can break it down into 2 parts. First is your pronunciation, and the second is your speaking reflexes, or how fluently you can actually, carry a conversation in real life. When it comes to pronunciation, I would say the best way you could go about it by yourself is probably through shadowing. And the good news is you can do it entirely by yourself in the comfort of your own home.
그러니까 가족에 대한 정보를 담고 있어요. 이름에 성이 있는 나라도 있고 또 없는 나라도 있다고 하는데 한국은 모든 이름에 성이 있습니다.
As for fluency in speaking, meaning like you can carry a conversation, I think it will come with practice with real people. Yes, although there can be ways around it, like you can simulate conversations with yourself, watch interviews online, listen to the interview answers, and then you input your own answer to those interviews. I find that the best way to actually acquire fluency is to practice with someone else. Have them probe your mind, have them ask you questions, and slowly you will build a reflex to answer those questions in real time. Plus you get to meet and spend time with someone else. So you will probably spend a lot of time searching for words when you're first talking with someone else, and that's okay. You know, that's kind of like the whole process of learning, and slowly you will get better at it. With this day and age, you can probably find communities in your country that speak your target language that you can practice with. I mean, personally, I struggle to get myself out of my comfort zone to go meet more people and practice my target language. Making mistakes is very normal, and oftentimes you or the other person will get a good laugh at the mistake that you just made, because, you know, like, the really fun thing about language learners is that we make mistakes that fluent people or native speakers would never ever think about. I kind of live for those moments, honestly, when I'm teaching English. But yes, bottom line is, if you want to work on your pronunciation, then I definitely recommend shadowing podcasts or native content, whether that's British English or American English, depending on the accent that you want to acquire. And then as for speaking reflexes, I would say put yourself out there, meet some people, find some communities in your area to practice your English. I personally prefer practicing with people in real life more than like through like a language exchange platform, just because in real life we have more things to interact with together and not just with each other. Yes, get it girls, tug of war. This is the Dragon Train, yet another one of my favorite rides growing up. Curly Rise Korean asks, is there an experience or a thing that you haven't done that you would like to try one day? I think if you were to ask me about 5 years ago, when I was 20 years old in college, I was really into rock climbing back then, that my pipe dream was to go pro, become a professional rock climber, and be sponsored by Patagonia. But as of now, I don't think there's an experience that I am dying to have. Like, I could probably live without most of them, but there is one experience that I definitely would like to have, though, is to one day have a life partner and start my own family. And then one day I can probably take my kids back here and join me on this lovely, lovely dragon ride. Yo, check out those flowers though, man. I think it is safe to say that spring has arrived and summer is just around the corner. We have a lot of these types of old trees here around the city. You'll see them with their air roots, a lot of their air roots, and we'll believe that they are really old spirits that guard the place and guard the area. So wherever you go in Vietnam, you'll probably see a lot of these old types of trees. Ooh, I also want to show you guys something that I got earlier this morning. This morning, before coming to the park, I did a quick detour at my favorite bakery. It's right around the corner, actually. It's not too far away from the park. So if you're ever in Hanoi and want some good baked goods and a spot to sit and enjoy the baked goods, this is the itinerary I would recommend. But yeah, essentially I go to this place a lot. When I was growing up, it has a very special place in my heart. First one we have here is a coconut and raisin pastry. Love. This one's mildly sweet. You can definitely taste the butter and milk in it. And the raisin adds a little kick of sweetness. And then we have some dough sticks. Love me some dough sticks. I wish y'all could have some right now. And this one is my absolute childhood favorite. This is called bánh châu Âu, which translates to the European bread. Any Europeans out there want to claim this bread? I mean, I would claim it in a jiffy, you know what? But yeah, essentially this is my favorite growing up. Bon appétit! So good. Curly Rice Korean also asks, also, how are you feeling? Are you in a mood where you enjoy the things you have, are content with them, and feel comfortable in your comfort zone? Or are you in a phase where you feel like discovering new things and going on adventures? Or maybe neither? I remember being very impatient in my 20s, always looking for new experiences. Everything felt too small. Stability was a negative word for me. It meant boring as. Now, in my 30s, I feel very different. I'm still someone who is curious and eager to learn about new perspectives. I love meeting new people, but at the same time, I'm much more looking for stability, and I enjoy maintaining the small things I have in life. I could stay still for a while, something I couldn't do before. I was always in motion, and I wonder how it is for you. Well, Curly Rice Korean 언니, thank you so much for the question. I think we could all take a little moment and consider this question. So why don't you guys take a moment to ponder that question as well? Pause this video and come back when you're ready. Okay, so you guys have your answers ready? Let's compare answers. Okay, so the first part of this question is, are you comfortable in your comfort zone, or do you want to discover new things? I think it's not neither, but more so both. At this point in time, I feel quite content with the things I have, with the people I have around me, but mostly with how I feel about myself. I feel like that's where the contentment comes from. Before, I used to limit myself and confine myself to the belief that I should only develop the things that I am already good at. So let's say I'm good at teaching English, or I'm good at science and things like that. And I would box myself into those categories just because those are the subjects I've spent many years in school learning and practicing and getting good at. But I recently realized that the reason I was able to get good at certain areas is because I have the ability to learn. And I can apply that to anything else that I wish to apply myself to, which means that I feel like there are things that I can get good at, that I can be passionate about, that I don't even know that I'm passionate about yet. So that is for something for me to discover further down the line, which means that although I am content with where I am now, I do understand that I have yet to reach my final form, if you will, once I've discovered what else I want to get good at. I still enjoy a good adventure every now and again, mostly to kind of get myself out of my comfort zone, explore new aspects of myself, and learn that I've had it in me this entire time. Things definitely don't feel too small for me right now. I feel like I am aware that I have the privilege and the freedom to explore and experiment with what I want to explore, and I don't feel like there's too much holding me back, to be honest. I still love learning about new perspectives, learning about people and their stories. As for stability, I don't think I'm searching for that right now at this point in my life. I have the least amount of responsibilities I'll probably ever have. So I'm still very open to adventures, but I don't feel empty without them, if you get what I mean. I feel like I've learned a lot about myself and how to take care of myself over the last couple of years. I don't feel the constant need to be doing something. I can enjoy a solid rest day or rest week or rest month, if you will, to recharge, kind of recalibrate whenever I need to before I choose another direction to go down. So yes, TLDR, I am quite content with where I am right now. I have been journaling these last couple of years, but this year I implemented the reflection at the end of each month, and that has helped me realize a lot of patterns or a lot of things about myself. For instance, just this past month, I realized that I met friends from all walks of my life. Friends from primary school, middle school, high school, university friends, and I made new friends all in the same month. And before that, I was under the impression that I was not really good at making friends or keeping friends. Objectively looking back at it, just within the month of March alone, I had so many friends around me, so many people that I care about, that care about me, and we're good support systems for each other. So it turns out that the perception that I'm not good at making friends is just a perception that I've built about myself. First of all, it's just untrue. I do have a lot of good qualities. It's just that sometimes I forget about them. And right now I'm in the process of recognizing and remembering all these good qualities that I have within me, that you have within you as well. It's just that sometimes we need a little push, a little catalyst to help us remember. I feel like I went on a little bit of a tangent, but hopefully that answers the question. And how about you guys? With whichever stage of your life that you're in now, feel free to drop a comment down below. Once again, thank you, Curly Rice Korean, for a very thoughtful question. So on that note, I think this is also a really good place to wrap up this video. Thank you for stopping by and coming along for the ride. This will continue to be my very authentic video diary of the things that took place in my life. And yeah, I'm just as excited to see what happens as you are. If there's any type of content you'd like for me to try or post, feel free to let me know in the comments down below as well. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Yo, this breeze is immaculate, I'm telling ya. Come visit Hanoi.